So a couple of weeks ago, I posted a reel on my Instagram titled How to Make Awesome Thumbnails, and oh my god, that video blew up. As of right now, it has 400,000 views, and it's crazy. That's the most I've ever gotten in any video I've ever posted online in my entire life. And on that video, I got a lot of comments from people asking me how I made everything, because obviously it was a video that was like 10 seconds long, so it was really hard to explain everything in those 10 seconds. It was just a bunch of text and just me moving my camera aggressively left and right so that it matches to the music that I had in the background. So I thought it'd be nice if I just did a full-blown extended tutorial on how I got from point A to point B. For those of you who have not watched that video yet, definitely go check it out. I have the link in my description at the bottom. And essentially what I did in that video, there were just 3 to 4 simple steps that I followed. You first block out your silhouette, use images as a clipping mask, change your color of your images, and then you paint your own colors on top of it. And today I'm just gonna break down the whole process and the little mistakes that I make when I'm making all of this as well. It doesn't happen everything in one go where it's just perfect, right? What you can also do is that sometimes when you have a couple of different unique designs, you can take a little bit from each and put them all together and make something new. So I'll probably end up doing that as well. What I plan to do today is that I'm gonna make a new thumbnail just to kind of show you the process could be applied to anything you pretty much want to make. So yeah. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure you have some references. In my case, I was going for more like an alien vegetation kind of thing. And so I thought it'd be cool to have some mushrooms, some octopus tentacles, and then some tree roots. For stuff like this, I literally went to Pinterest and I wrote cool mushrooms or badass mushrooms or unique mushrooms, anything cool like that. And then I got some images up here. And these images are, I'm going to use them for inspiration, and also I'm going to use them as textures in my thumbnails as well. And then since it's more of like a plant of some sort, I thought it'd be nice to have some tree roots, some weird looking trunks. I was looking for those nice spirals here and there. And I thought it'd be cool to have like a octopus tentacle texture for the roots themselves. So yeah, just compile some of these images just for inspiration. Don't start from your memory, because sometimes it's going to be hard to come up with ideas. So once you have your references set up, I would put them on PureRef. That's the software I use. You can use whatever software you want, but PureRef is really cool because you can literally just copy paste images from Google, and yeah, I like doing it that way. Okay, so once we got that figured out, these were the thumbnails that I created. And if you look closely, these are mostly a combination of painting and pictures and whatnot. And just gonna break it down a little bit for you guys. So let's turn off all my layers up here. I had a lot more layers. Actually, I ended up merging some of them. But the first thing is to come up with a silhouette. So yeah, just try to come up with like a cool silhouette. We'll go over the whole process of coming up with cool designs. And then from there, I used images. Let's hide this up here. Something like that. And at this point, I was literally just taking the same images from my references up here and just copy pasting them and merging them and warping them and just trying to get some cool variations up here. And notice how, like, even though I had all these images up here, I did not use all of them. I just had to play around and see which one I like the most. And during this phase, you don't want to worry too much about the colors. You just want to bash and get some texture up there. And then once you're done with that, then you can convert it into grayscale with a hue saturation adjustment layer. And then on top of it, I used a level slider to kind of just pump up those shadows a little bit more. And then on top of that, wrong layer, top of that, I painted a little bit of painting up here, just to kind of clean up some edges so that I get that nice painterly look. And then from there, I used an overlay layer on top of the silhouette just to kind of paint the colors that I wanted. Then you can do another pass on top of that layer just to kind of add some fine tuning. But yeah, that's pretty much the process that we're going to do. So I'm going to use the same techniques, and hopefully you guys will learn a thing or two from this, and I'm super excited. Now, there are a couple of things you want to keep in mind when you're doing thumbnails. First thing we're going to do, we're going to block out a silhouette. Hopefully I spelled it right. And when you're blocking out a silhouette, you want to make sure you have big, medium, and small shapes. Right? And you can take multiple approaches when it comes to making silhouettes. Some people like to just paint, and some people like to use the lasso tool. Some people like to sketch first. So whatever you're comfortable doing, just do it that way. for me, I'm just gonna start painting pretty much. When I say paint, I mean I'm just gonna have a hard round brush. I'm gonna start making like some shapes or whatever and see if I get something cool. And then for my eraser as well, I'll make sure I have a hard round eraser as well. I try not to use pressure when it comes to silhouettes. That way I get like nice bold shapes and lines and whatnot. So yeah, that would be the first step pretty much. So we're gonna go ahead and focus on that first. Let's go ahead and delete this. All right, perfect. And then, while I'm working on this, I'm constantly looking at my references as well. And it's one of those things where you just have to like play around and see what you like. So, and that's why I try to keep everything real time in this video, just kind of show you the whole process. Like you won't, it's okay if you don't get everything right in first go, but definitely do experiment and try to get something as unique as possible. So maybe I want something like this. Maybe there's like a branch coming here this way, a little piece up here. And we also want to have a focal point as well. Keep that in mind as well. And this is something that I recently started doing as well. So I'm trying to get used to this as well. So yeah, maybe I'll grab my eraser and probably this. And it's always nice to use negative space as well, some sort. Maybe we have, some more space here. Let's see if I can like warp it a little bit. Something like this. I don't know. You always want to like push your design. I like using the warp tool a lot for this. And then let's see, maybe we want to go with something like this. That'd be cool if I have. Yeah, this looks cool. Maybe I have those mushroom pieces just like hanging from the top like that. And probably do something like this. Let's see. There's some more negative space up here. We have like one big piece up here, and then some tiny little spots here. And I think I'm gonna select this, probably shrink this a little bit. Oops. And maybe I can stretch this a little bit. Let's see if I can select some of this right here. Control J. Made a copy of that. I can probably maybe do something like this. Maybe some more smaller pieces coming out this way. I don't know. Just gotta play around with it and see what you like, see what you come up with. And don't be scared to like recycle some of your assets. Like, what I did, I made a selection of this and copy pasted that and put some stuff up here. I can probably do that one more time. Control J. Maybe pick that up a little bit smaller. Something like that. Move it down a little bit. Yeah, that's good. I'll go ahead and merge it. Control J again. And probably, let's see. Yeah, this looks cool. It's a cool shape right there. Stretch that down like that. Or something. Cool, so already we got like something cool happening here right now. And I think what I'm gonna do next, let's see this layer, okay. Actually gonna take this up here, Control J again. I think I want a little bit of variation. Just checking and seeing what works and what doesn't work. Put it this way. Oops. Always end up pressing the wrong key. When you're like moving from different software, from Blender to 3D Code to Photoshop, all my hotkeys get messed up and it's so annoying. Probably have some of this up here. Control T. If you hit Control H, you can like hide your selection, that way it doesn't get too distracting up here. Do something like this. And yeah, this is what I mean, right? You know, big, medium, and small. So right now I'm focused, so I had my big shapes, I had my medium shapes, and now I'm just kind of focusing on the small shapes right now. Control J, Control T, something like this. Control J, Control T. So yeah, so this is turning out to be something cool. And obviously, you know, I'm doing this really quickly, so when you're working on this, I would suggest, you know, spend some more time on getting like some cool silhouettes, because that's the main part at first. You want to make sure your silhouettes are strong, and you want to make sure you get that right. Like up here, I think I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit more smaller, so that it's not in conflict. That have a little bit of variation. I felt like this, and this were more like the same size. And I think I'm gonna make this a little bit thin as well. Now here I can probably use my lasso tool. Just kind of make those selections, hit delete. Cool. Maybe I can do something like this. Delete some more negative shapes up here. Cool. So yeah, so let's say you worked on a silhouette and this is what you have so far. And what I'm gonna do next is, I think I'll try to warp it a little bit more, see if I can push this a little bit. Maybe something like that. Let's do it this way. Let's go ahead and select just this part. Let's see if you can like kind of push this a little bit more. Just a little bit, just a tad bit. Let's see. So, yeah, I think it's all right. Then I can probably select this part right here. Go ahead and just make that a little bit. So yeah, so let's say you have your silhouette done at this point, right? So the next step that we're gonna do is make sure, okay, it's right up here. I'm gonna make a new folder. I'm gonna call this photos. I'm gonna clip this to, where is it? Oh, I gotta put some stuff in there first. Okay. So let's say, for example, I like this image right here, Control C. And with Purif, you can literally straight up Control C, Control V up here and copy images. I'm gonna put this inside photos. That's all it already is. And then we're gonna put that into clipping mask. It's not working? I thought you could clip it from your folder up here. Well, I guess not. Boo, never mind. We'll just bring it out and put it down there. So when I clip it, it'll only show within the silhouette up here. And so now what I can do is just like place it on areas where I want that specific texture to be. And then from there, I can either copy paste it or use the clone stamp tool It's gonna be this one right here. If you hold Alt and click somewhere on the image, then now you can paint it on like other parts like that. It's really cool. I think you can also use the mixer brush for that. I don't use it that much, but I think it works in a similar way, I believe. So, and then yeah, it paints like more of a texture. I think you have to play around with the settings a little bit, so I'm not sure how to do that. We'll just stick to the stone clamp tool for now. So it's gonna go right up here, paint a little bit of that. Here. And then you can always like transform it as well. A little bit here and there. Okay, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to make a selection of all this. So if you make a selection and then you go to your move tool and you hold on Alt and you click and drag, it'll make a copy. And I think it'll keep it on the same layer as well, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Continue doing the same thing. Paint a little bit. And right now I'm not really worried about, you know, colors or anything. You know, I'm just trying to get some texture up there. You could, you know, check your values every now and then. But then again, you know, it's not required necessarily, because we're going to paint over it anyway, so I wouldn't spend too much time on that. And then what I'm going to do next, I'm going to take this image right here, go ahead and clip that as well. I think I want to put it right up here somewhere. Excuse me. I'm going to erase a little bit. You can also mask your images. I don't do it that much during this stage because I just feel like it makes my file size a lot bigger and it's just a hassle. So, but masking is it's a non-destructive way of working. So I would definitely recommend it if, you know, you're not sure about what you're doing. But honestly, it's just a matter of copying, pasting on the layer one more time. So just try to be as fluid as possible. And I feel like for me, masking kind of just becomes that one extra thing that I have to worry about. And so like with these roots, I want to make sure it's in the direction of where my roots are going. And I'm going to stretch this out a little bit. Get that texture down. And I think this is a pretty good texture as well. Go ahead and clip that. So if you right click on your photos and then create clipping mask, it'll do it. There's a shortcut for that as well. If you bring your cursor closer to the middle part of the two layers and hold on Alt, it changes to this little icon. And once you click, it clips it. So I'm gonna bring this actually up here. Something like that. Maybe I'll right click, warp it a little bit, see if I can do something like this. It's crazy as fuck. It's okay. No cussing, no cussing. And so right now I'm just experimenting. You know, I don't really know what I'm doing for the most part, but that's what it is. You just gotta like experiment and see what's working, what's not working. And if you don't get it right the first time, you know, just don't worry about it. Just keep at it. Let's go ahead and clip this as well. Actually, I'm gonna just grab a big chunk of these. Control J, I'm gonna hide this, put this here, clip that, replace some of these down here, maybe. Okay, Control J, place some down here as well. And then sometimes if you play around with if you double click on your layer right here, this window pops up and you can like use different blend modes up here so it can take away all the blacks. Just kind of blend that part. It's pretty cool as well. I don't use it that much, but sometimes it's helpful. So let's see, let's maybe pick up this image. You know, sometimes I've seen some people where they'll just start off with images. They won't do, like, they'll do their silhouettes in images, which is pretty cool. I'm not too comfortable with that process just yet, but that's also something you can try out as well. Oops. Go ahead and click that. I'll throw some texture right here, maybe. And then let's see if we can add some of these tentacle looking things. Probably at the base would be cool. I'm gonna erase parts of it, I guess. Put some up here, maybe. Yeah, this looks like a hot mess right now, but don't worry about it. We'll trust the process. Trust the process. Okay. So right now what I can do next, I can start breaking away from my silhouette. So I'm gonna use some more images now, and this time around, let's go ahead and buy one right there. I think I'll make a selection of all of this. I'll probably place this maybe somewhere up here. Do some right there. On the top up here would be cool. Oops. Kind of push the big, medium, small here. Damn, it's so weird. I can't talk while doing this. And I see a lot of videos of people just like saying the exact same thing. Man, it's so hard to talk while you're drawing, and I can feel that. And many times I don't know what to talk about for the most part, you know. So let's grab this image one more time. Control C, Control V. Just gonna make a selection of all of these petals looking thingies. So many layers at this point. I don't even care what my layer looks like. I'm gonna put this right up here. Put this here. Some up there. A bit bigger. Maybe some of that. So, I'm just taking my pieces of my images and placing it wherever I see might have some rooms of opportunities. Excuse me. God, I hate allergy season. And I feel like I should probably work on the roots as well. Probably just grab maybe something like this. Control J. And usually I end up merging most of my layers because, yeah, if you look at my layers right now, actually don't look at my layers right now because it's a hot mess up there. Let's grab this again. Maybe we can probably erase a little bit of that. And I think, where's my image? Right here. Let's go ahead and grab this section up here. And so that's what I usually do. I'll just, have my images up here, and at one point I'll just start copy pasting and just grabbing parts of my images and just start putting them on my thumbnail. That's cool. I need to fix this top part. And so many times what ends up happening also is that sometimes, I'll just find something better looking and I'll just totally hide all the stuff that I already had going on. And if that happens, it's fine. It's totally cool. At the end of the day, you got to do what's working. You don't have to restrain yourself to a specific thing. I'm gonna move this. Do these tiny little pink thingies. This could be like, I don't know. And let's see, what else can I do? Let's rotate my canvas a little bit. I think I should probably move this down a little bit. That's it. So I'm kind of happy with what I've got going on for now. Actually, I'm not happy. Let me fix this part first. Just realized I never looked at that part. Let's see, what image can we use for this? Let's try something. And this is where I feel like, it's so important to get some good images. So spend some good time finding like some good references. That way you don't struggle. You're not like fighting, I mean, at this point, even if right now I'm still in the beginning stages of this, right? So even if I do mess up, I can still like come back from it. And it's not like I've spent like 4 or 5 hours working on this yet. So how much time have you spent so far? Yeah, maybe like 30 minutes, which is not too bad, honestly. And mainly because like, I'm talking and doing this at the same time. And so sometimes it gets a little bit hard doing all of these at the same time. Not me making excuses here, but you get the idea. You get the point. You get what I'm trying to say. Maybe we can warp it a little bit. Like that, maybe. And I feel like there's too much detail here and it's pretty noisy. And, I'm going to fix that later because I don't think we need that much noise up here. And so if you're wondering, what the hell is Omar doing? Everything's like crazy detail here. Just relax. Okay, relax. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Maybe. Actually, at least I'll try to fix it. Fake it till you make it. What the hell? Program error? Let's try that again. There you go. Do something like this or something. I don't know. Cool. Okay. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm actually gonna merge all my layers because I got so many up here. All the way up there. And I think, let's see how this, hold on, let's see. Control E? Nope, I guess I can't merge, okay. So one thing, you can merge layers if they're clipped to a layer at the bottom. So I'm just gonna go up here and merge the rest for now. Oh wait, never mind, they're all, okay. Well, no, hold on. Let's see, Control E. Okay, so I got some up here. And then, can I merge all of these, maybe? Okay, cool. Okay, perfect. Oh, cool, perfect, yeah. So I have everything in one layer now, which makes things a little bit easier for me. Because now copy pasting would be a little bit more easier. And I can just use the clone stamp tool to do stuff like this. I can just paint my textures at this point. And also erase my textures a little bit if I want to. Maybe something like this. Or I'll probably take it up there. And this is where I feel like I get most of that painterly feel. And the clone stamp tool is a little weird. Sometimes it doesn't work the way I want it to work. It gets a little annoying sometimes. Let's go ahead and make a selection of this part. Warp it a little bit. Maybe, yep. So at this point, I'm just transforming my images a little bit here and there. Let's erase a little bit. Oh shit. Never mind. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, I've got something going on up here, and what I can do next is I'm gonna make an adjustment layer. Where is it? Use saturation. Black and white. Okay. And what we're gonna do next as well, probably do a levels adjustment as well. Kind of push those. Oh, should probably clip it. All right. Push those blacks a little bit. Push my values. Cool. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a new layer. Clip it. Let's go back to a regular brush. I use a soft round brush. And usually I like to darken my base a little bit first. Something like that. And I want to focus my eye to the focal point. I want to focus my eye mostly to, you know, on this area right here. So I'm gonna make sure most of this part is a bit more lit, everything else is like darker, or whatever, you know, whatever works for you. Then I'm gonna make a new layer on top of that, and here I'm just gonna grab a regular hard round pressure size. Then here I can come here, maybe do something like this. Have some more roots coming this way, coming that way. So I'm gonna go to my silhouette up here, raise it a little bit. Okay. Yeah, let's do a before and after. So yeah, looking good. Maybe we can have some more stuff coming out this way. Here I can probably like simplify some of this stuff. It's a little too crazy up here. Go back up here. Just erase some of it. And so yeah, this is the part where I'll just paint in a little bit here and there. Just kind of unify everything a little better. A little bit. Oh yeah, cool. All right. So yeah, once you have something like that worked out, I would make a new layer then, clip it, and put that on overlay. And this is where you can like add some colors. You like using a soft round brush for this for the most part. Gives me a little bit of control. And it's not working. Oh, got it. No, I don't lag. I shouldn't put this on top. Number one color. Wait, hold on, what the fuck? So yeah, I kind of did the red color. Let me actually color pick from here. Something like that, maybe. And then for the roots, do a brownish tone. I'm just color picking from the original references that I had because, you know, I only had something going on. And I actually messed up. I should have done this part after adding the colors, because right now when I clip my layer, I can't do it with this layer up here. So what I can do is we can add some colors up here. And then let's pick up maybe brown. A little bit of brown up here, maybe. Okay, cool. Make a selection of everything up here. Up here. Just recoloring everything. So yeah, this is like a quick and dirty way to get some detailed thumbnails in a short amount of time. And I actually forgot to update this list. But let's go back up here real quick. So the first thing we did was we did a silhouette. And let's go back. That was number one. Oops, why is it not working? The right layer? Okay. Oh, I made a selection. There you go. So silhouette. And then number two was, photos. And number three, grayscale. And number four, overlay colors. So these are just the 4 steps you got to follow to get something like this. And then you can spend some more time, kind of refining this a little bit more. Like up here, these two feel a little bit more static. So I might just come up here and do something like this maybe. I don't know. Simplify it a little bit more. It's a little bit noisy up here. Probably like, some roots hanging out or something. Probably do something like this maybe. So yeah, you get the idea, pretty much. And then one bonus tip that I wanted to show you guys is, let's go back, let's close all of this up here. Just gonna go back to these thumbnails that I worked on earlier. Control J, Control E. Okay. So for example, when you have like a whole set of thumbnails like that, you can reuse some of them. So for example, if I want to, I can take part of this, and then I can merge maybe with this. Maybe something like that. You can use mix and match some of your thumbnails if you get something cool going on. Yeah, just like that. It's a unique piece on its own. Maybe I can select this part and stretch that out a little bit. Control J, Control T, a little bit smaller. So you can definitely do stuff like that as well once you have a good, and just like that, have another set of thumbnails at this point. And so the opportunities are endless if you think about it. And it's completely unique. It's just a mixture of this and this. And maybe if I want, I can probably just erase away this a little bit, kind of do it like that or something. Maybe, oops, maybe select this part, stretch it. Then distort it a little bit, so you can definitely play around with so what I'm trying to say is that you don't always have to do everything from scratch at this point. You can just literally do everything by copy pasting, recycling. And so like what I had here, let's see, like this one up here, this was another one that I made just now. And so normally so this could be like a part of like another set. And then usually, having like 6 to 8 to 10 thumbnails is good enough for a concept piece. And then you can start like bashing it. You can start making it into the actual focal point. Sometimes you can either do it in 3D or sometimes you can just do everything in Photoshop. In my case, I actually did it in 3D, which I'm going to be doing it in the next video where we'll just do some organic sculpting. And I have that in progress right now. I've already done making everything. It's just a matter of putting it all together and sharing with you guys. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But yeah, that should be all for the most part, honestly. All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming around and checking out this video. I hope it helped you a little bit. This video was like, I was trying to make this video for the longest time, but my YouTube schedule is it's not the very best because I don't post weekly, I post bi-weekly. So So yeah, I have a lot of videos planned out that I'm just like, okay, I gotta record this and post it, record it and post it, and I have screen recordings and whatnot. It's just a matter of me sitting in front of the camera and talking. And I don't realize how weird it is to talk in front of the camera sometimes. I don't know. It's just that lens is just like staring at me, like it's staring deep into my soul, and it's judging me. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.